All righty. Hello, hello. Glad you guys are here. We had a little technical issue, but we're back. So over the past few years, there have been spaces that I found to be absolute gold mines when it comes to the teacherpreneur space, and the Teachers Make Money Online Summit has been one of them. Ashley DiMercurio has started the summit, and I've attended in the past and have the privilege of presenting this year, which I'm really excited about. She is a fixture in the space with so much knowledge to share, in addition to her own work on her podcast, her YouTube channel, and her work with families as Your Reading Tutor. So without further ado, Ashley, I'm going to have you come on in. Hello, hello. Again, how are you?
Hello. Thank you so much, Melissa, for hanging in there, helping getting this live up and running.
Absolutely. Well, we're here because something very exciting is happening tomorrow, which is the summit. However, I want people to hear a little bit from you, your backstory a bit, and why this is such an important project for you. So if you don't mind giving us a little backstory.
Absolutely. So I have been teaching online for over 5 years now. So I started teaching online pre-pandemic, when you still had to explain to people like what Zoom was and how you could possibly be effective teaching online. Now, thankfully, that part of my job is much easier. People get it now. But when I first started out, I was, after probably maybe a year and a half, 2 years, I had increased my rates a little bit, felt, more confident teaching in the online space. And I realized, though, that I was sort of hitting like an income ceiling. I needed to make more money to support my family, but I was tutoring all of the hours that I could possibly tutor and not, get burnt out or super, super tired. I experienced, what really happened is because of the pandemic, when a lot of kids were learning online, my caseload and my number of students doubled like really quickly. Maybe I had like around 12 students and I quickly was over 20. And that was a lot. It was a really exciting time and it was fun, but it also made me realize that 20 students is too much for me. So how am I going to keep this level of income without having 20 students?
Understood. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a lot of teaching. It's a lot of hours teaching.
It's a lot of hours teaching, yes, and especially online too. You're looking at the computer screen, and that's a different kind of tiredness too. I feel like especially I was used to being a classroom teacher and then a stay-at-home mom, and I was like on the go all the time, on my feet, and then going into just sitting at a computer, it was like it was different,
Rude awakening. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So I realized, okay, I'm teaching. This is the amount of hours I want to teach. I can raise my rates, over time. I can increase that way as well. But what else can I do to increase my revenue? Because in addition to the number of students I wanted to teach, there was always students that would be coming and going, right? Tutors, if they're good at their job, eventually that student is going to move on. And that's just part of our business, right? That's just part of what we do as tutors. So it's not bad. It happens to everyone. And it's just normal, but we have to figure out how to prepare for it and how to maintain our income throughout it so that we can pay our bills on time.
Absolutely. And that's a natural thing. I think it's a success thing. You've coached the kid to a place where they're no longer in need of your services, but it's also a seasonal thing. So, right. I mentioned this is something that I've totally experienced this year with the summer. I mean, kids are at camp, they're on vacation. So not feeling that, weekly class load has, been cut in half basically just due to vacation. So there's that kind of angst of like, what are we going to do? Totally.
And that happens to me. That happens to me too, especially this summer. I've noticed more than other summers. I have about half for the month of July. My caseload has dropped, and some more people, want to come just in August, so it's just different in the summer. Yeah. And I tell you that because, sometimes people, you look to someone else and you think they have it just like all together and all figured out, but like I have the same struggles.
Totally.
As you. So,
but you have some genius ideas around this, which I want us to talk about a little bit because I think you're presenting on part of it as well. But we'll get into that. Okay. So basically we scratched the surface. You need to diversify essentially, and that you've done. So do you want to just run down a little bit of your diversified kind of income streams? And I want people to see this because it's such a picture of going from online teacher, like your side hustle, we're just supplementing income, to full-time teacherpreneur. Can you share a little bit of what you kind of stepped out into?
Definitely. So I started out just tutoring students one-on-one. Then one of the additional income streams I added was group classes. So I thought, oh, I'm going to try this out. I'm going to offer like a summer camp, and I'm going to offer some group classes. And I still dabble in that. I've done a group class this summer. So that's another thing that you can add on, like skills classes instead of just like intervention classes. Then I started exploring digital products and digital courses, and I launched a digital course called Building Stronger Readers, I believe is what it was called. And that was actually part of the Ultimate Homeschooling Bundle, which was really a cool experience. And in the summit,
networking, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely. In the summit, one of my presentations is all about increasing your visibility, and I actually talk about participating in bundles and summits and things like that. So yeah, so
cool.
Making those connections, meeting new people, putting myself out there, what else can I do? What are other people doing? Where is there a need? So I started looking into some different digital products and working with other entrepreneurs, not in the online space, but that were creating digital products. So one of my mentors is Eden Freed, who runs the Rebel Boss Summit. That's all about creating digital products and courses and memberships. That's an amazing summit as well. So I started working with her, learning from her, creating some digital products. And that was the beginning. I was like, all right, this is pretty cool. Like there's a lot of options out there for me outside of teaching.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, and hello, Martha. Glad to have you here. I'm sorry it's so hot in Greece. It's hot where I am today too. That is so cool. So your goal is to be fully online in about a year, which is super cool. So it sounds like maybe you've got some steps to take in terms of perhaps building up an online presence or payment structure, virtual scheduling, all of that jazz. So all of that is covered in the summit, which I'm so excited for. It's starting tomorrow. And you have worked so hard to pull together this amazing list of teachers. Now I'm going to go ahead and share the website because you've put together this amazing group of teachers, teacherpreneurs, I should say, who have so many things to offer. So again, the summit starts the 19th. Which is tomorrow. And if you are watching this later, make sure you either sign up for the next summit or go ahead and grab access, which I think will be available for a little bit after the summit. But until then, take a look at some of these topics. So I had mentioned earlier, I'm really excited about a few of these. I've been kind of peeking at some of their presentations already. Two that I'm really excited about are Julie McJulty's SEO Basics. And I think we share this interest, Cassandra Foster's Facebook group one. Can you tell me why you're so interested in that one?
Well, I think there's this, discussion on social media right now about like, is Facebook dead? And that's one of the things she talks about, right? In her presentation, she starts off, you might have heard Facebook is dead. Well, I'm here to tell you it's not. And she just dives into, she gives you some real numbers about like who is on Facebook and where are they? And, the average person, I think she says, is in 5 or more groups, Facebook groups, and she just talks about ways that you can use it to market your business. And I hadn't really even thought of. So it's this is a really good one. I think a lot of our target market, right? Parents with school age kids are still on Facebook. They are still on Facebook. So,
well, and with the Facebook group, that's already kind of a warm audience. They know why they're in that group. They're looking for, I have a Facebook group, which is EdTech, curriculum, and platform support. Those are 3 things that I love talking about and can point people to different, resources. I may be an affiliate for some of those resources because I use them myself and I think they're great. Right. And so when you think about teacherpreneur life, that's a very small affiliate kind of revenue, but that's also part of this. So you're addressing the question, you're giving them quality answers, but there's also this income piece that's part of it, which is so cool.
Affiliate marketing is great. I don't have anyone speaking on affiliate marketing. Maybe I'll have to touch on it in the panel session or something. It's definitely something that I've dabbled in as well, and is a really great option, especially when you collaborate with other tutors and you find someone that you really connect with, you trust them, you like the work they're doing. You could even be an affiliate with another tutor. So,
that's a good idea.
Yeah. So there's a lot of
exactly. No,
So
totally.
affiliate marketing is definitely another one of the income streams I've worked on.
That's one of them. Okay. Well, the other part, and Martha, I think this might be really helpful to you, is Tim. Hopefully you've heard of Online Teacher Dude, Tim. But he has been my source of information for a lot of the background stuff in my teaching business. So how to set up Stripe, how to really set up policies with the families that you're working with, things like that are just basic and feel basic, but at the same time, they are critical to having a successful fully online teaching business. So that hopefully would be something you could pop into at the summit.
Yeah,
awesome.
You want to make sure you catch Jill's presentation as well, because she's going to be presenting more on like policies now, peace of mind later, it's called, because she, when you are moving into fully online and you're using this as your full-time business, right? Your main income, you want to make sure that you have your strong policies in place to protect your time and your money. And my presentation on what to do for cancellations. Yeah. So this year I'm presenting each day of the summit because I just wanted to, I was like, I'm going to pull together all of the best workshops I've done in the last year, all of the best topics, and put one on each day. And one of them is what to do if you have a cancellation, you know, how to save time and money instead of refunding or rescheduling these students. And I presented this topic for the Tutor Success Academy Summit as well. And it was really well received.
That's awesome.
People found it to be really awesome. So yeah, go ahead.
I hope people will check that out, because it's a way to really save your income, because the fact that a student is going to cancel last minute does not mean that you need to miss out on the income. That's important. Martha's asking, will she have access to previous recordings if she signs up on Thursday? Can you tell us about the logistics of that?
Yes. If you register and you get a ticket on Thursday, you would still get access to every day's presentations. Yep, they're included in the ticket price. And there is an option, I think it's like $11 or $12 to add to your ticket if you want, and even have access to last summer's presentations as well. So,
that's good. Awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, very cool. Okay. So, and the recordings are all pre-recorded. So I think you've already said you're going to send out an email each day, right?
Yep.
With the rundown of everybody's recordings.
Yes. And so each day of the summit, that day's presentations will be released so that you sort of get the feeling of it happening live, you know. And I have a Facebook group, which I'm sure Melissa will share. There will be live coffee chats each morning where we just, you know, hey, what have you watched? How's it going? This is, you know, what I'm loving so far. We have giveaways. I think we have 12 or 13 different giveaways to give out to summit attendees. And it's anything from like a Starbucks gift card to a free coaching session. So lots of fun giveaways. Yeah.
Well, and this power pack too. Can you tell us a little bit what's in there? Because, before we get to the power pack, because that is like over $1,000 worth of value in that power pack. But here's how I tackle summits. Perhaps those watching this have also bought tickets for summits, and then you're like, oh my gosh, so much to digest. Here's how I do it. I pick the ones that I really know that I need to watch, and then I watch them on like 2 times speed while I'm like walking around the house doing all my chores and stuff. And that way I can be like, oh yeah, I need to revisit this. Oh yes, I need to revisit this. And then I'm able to really like take in. And then if I really need to go back and like take notes on something, there it is. But that's the way that's my way of kind of getting into this. I know for my presentation, I provided a QR code for people to like scan, get the note sheet. So am I telling you not to take notes during a presentation? Absolutely not. I'm just saying, if you're not going to watch it because you're busy, don't do that. Put it on 2 times speed, walk around the house, do your house cleaning, wash your dishes, whatever, and then go back and revisit it when you really need to dig into that topic, which is so fun. Okay.
Yes. And
talk to me.
Yes. I have to add on before we jump into the power pack that I do the same thing. I do the 2 times speed. And I also include, there's a bonus for 30 days access to a podcast feed of the presentations. So if you like listening while you go for walks or while you drive in the car, you can have 30 days access to a podcast feed of all the presentations. So helps with the listening on the go. And then also we provide customized like summit handouts for everyone too. So it has like the speaker and their presentation, and then it just has a spot for you to put like, how can I apply this to my business, and what's an action item I'm going to take based on this presentation. So, just consuming information without taking action is not what we want you to do.
No. Take notes in some form or fashion, whether it's a notes app or a note page, which is really huge.
And part of my mission is to really help you achieve your goals, right? To help you take action and do the thing, like, do the thing, step into your business.
There's a reason behind this. Yeah.
At the end of the summit, on the last day, during the coffee chat, we also have a post summit handout that think about what are you going to watch? What are you going to do? Where do you want your business to be in, what's your 3-month goal, 6-month goal? So it's not just take the information and go, but we're really working on building a community of entrepreneurs to support each other.
That's huge. Oh, I love it. So cool. So this power back that we've mentioned like 4 times now, it really is worth it. And there is so much in there. I mean, what is it? Over $1,000 worth of materials that made it into that?
Exactly. So right now the tickets are $79. You get all of those presentations, over 20 presentations. You get the power pack, the podcast feed, you get these live events. Like it really, even if you only went to 2 or 3 of the presentations, you're still getting your money's worth. Because I've definitely hosted workshops in the past, or paid for a workshop for $79 for one workshop. So it's definitely, So a couple of the things in the power pack. I know, Melissa, you're contributing your all-in-one tutoring guide, an online teacher workbook. So I actually just downloaded it today so I could check it out. It's amazing.
Very good. I'm so glad. Yeah, it's great. Definitely an onboarding guide for everybody to kind of walk through those policies and just things that we don't think about. And so learn from my mistakes. That's why I made that, basically.
And I'm in a lot of teacher online tutor Facebook groups, and I see all the time teachers asking about websites. Well, Tim, online teacher dude, is contributing his creating a website that scales with your business and makes you money. His course. And these contributions are free. Some of them have expiration dates, but I'll put that in there if it expires. But really great content in here that you would otherwise have to pay individually for each of these items.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Haley is giving us a book idea generation template. So if you're thinking, maybe I'll write a book this year, right? She can tell you how to become a published children's book author. Cassandra Foster is contributing year-long reel ideas. I've just printed that one or downloaded it today too. And it's like for every, January, February, March, there is a reel idea or short form video idea for every day for every month. So it's massive. It's like a 25-page document.
Oh my gosh. All right. I'm going to pick that one up. We're finish. Okay. So there's so much in here. And I feel like if people are watching this and they're thinking, all right, I'm teaching online, but I do want to get out from behind the camera. That's the heart behind this. A lot of us are parents, or we have a lot of other things that we're interested in outside of our teaching lives. And we want to be there for it. And for those who have been around this channel for a little while, that's the heart behind this channel too. It's to scale and grow your teaching business so that you can be more present in your home life. For me, we homeschool similar to you guys, and I need to be around for my kids. I want to be a nice wife to my husband. I don't want to be stressed. I don't want to be, off in a corner grading all night. And so there's these steps that we can take to really grow, bring in that same income, but spend less hours in front of a computer screen. And so if people are really on that train, I would say, if you're not coming to the summit this year, maybe you have a good reason. Maybe that $79 just isn't there. Can understand that. However, if you are coming to the summit, or you really can't and need to sit on the sidelines this year, it's okay. But I would say go to the website and look at these people who are presenting and see what topics they are talking about. These are things that you need to look into. Follow this person. I mean, you can find their contact information, learn from them, and take those steps so that next year you can attend the whole summit and really get the most out of it. Because I feel like that's really the key to starting to grow your business, is taking those next steps, whatever it may be. small at this point
Mhm.
or actually attending, which is huge. So
Yeah, I mean, if you have people who are watching who are tutoring online right now and they just want to like get better at tutoring online, not even maybe they're not thinking about scaling. We have some amazing presentations from Caitlin and Emily talking about Koala and how to gamify. And then Natalie Wright, who I'm just like, I recently discovered her and I was like, you have to speak at my summit because you're so amazing. And she is just like the queen of Google Slides and making things fun and engaging and interactive for online learning. And I'm like, you have to tell people all of this stuff. This is so good. So
she's so good at explaining it too. And she's the reason I'm like Nearpod's biggest fan now. I watched her YouTube video on how to use Nearpod. So it's just like, boom, you're opening up these doors that are changing,
Yes, absolutely. I think
changing for my everyday
summit. Yeah, it's going to introduce you to people and opportunities that you wouldn't have even thought about or known about before. And, I did a live with Kinga and Chris from Create and Funnel, and she was saying that they really was after attending the summit together that they were like, let's do this thing. Let's build this business together. And they've created their business Create and Funnel since then. And it's just been amazing to watch them grow their business. So you just, your life could be totally different. Your business could be totally different in a year.
I know. And Martha's saying she's got a sweet daughter to spend some time with. Yes. And yes, we don't need to be working our lives away. We need to be spending time with the ones we love. So that is so cool. Now, Ashley, we're going to wrap up, but I do want, and Martha, you're welcome to answer this question as well. And for anybody else who has joined in, Ashley, what are you excited about in the edupreneur space right now? This is something you've been working so hard on with the summit, but like, I feel like we're all still energized by this. Why? What keeps you moving in this space?
Oh gosh, I think it's so exciting to see how education is changing. And that's part of the reason I partnered with Koala Go for the summit this time, because they really are just innovators in the online education space. And I love that part of their mission statement is to help teachers be financially successful enough to buy a house. And that's near and dear to my heart.
That they actually say that. They actually were audacious enough to say that. So cool.
Yeah, exactly. And I want that too. And we just moved into our first real home as a family, and it's really exciting and something I never thought would be possible being an entrepreneur, doing this myself. So
totally.
I think I'm just really excited about seeing what is happening with education and how we are able to reach more kids in new and exciting ways, and that we aren't limited by geography. So I love that. And I love collaborating. Like, my favorite part of the summit is hanging out with all of you amazing speakers.
It's super fun. It's fun to see what everybody's into, how we're going, and how we're still kind of running this race, which is really cool to see the same people are still in it, which is really fun. Well, Ashley, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate your effort with this. I know as an early teacherpreneur years ago, and now scaling, it's been, the summit has been one of the, as I mentioned at the beginning, one of the gold mines of information for me. So I hope people will hop on, grab a ticket, and being able to scale and grow as they need to, because it's going to look different for each of us, but very exciting.
Thank you so much for having me. I can't wait for tomorrow.
All right. Yay. All right. Well, join us. The link is in the description to grab your summit ticket. And I hope you will join us. If not, if you're not joining us for the summit, then please go take a look at the summit page and check out those presenters. There's so much good stuff there. And I hope the rest of you have a fantastic day, or wherever you are, morning, noon, or night. And thank you for doing what you're doing. Happy teaching. See you out there.